The Dirty Picture is a bold and edgy biographical drama based on the life of actress Silk Smitha, a famous South Indian film star known for her erotic image in the 1980s and early 1990s. The film explores the rise and fall of a small-town girl named Reshma, played by Vidya Balan, who enters the film industry with dreams of stardom. Reshma is initially rejected due to her lack of glamour, but she reinvents herself as Silk, a seductive and controversial actress whose bold on-screen presence makes her an overnight sensation. As she rises to fame, she faces both the adulation and exploitation that come with her public image. Her relationships with a temperamental film director, Mr. Manish Nasiruddin Shah, and a smitten actor, Suryakant Emran Hashmi, become central to her journey. Despite the fame and wealth, Silk struggles with loneliness and the emotional cost of her image as an object of desire. The film explores themes of fame, desire, exploitation, and the pressures of being in the spotlight, shedding light on the film industry's complex relationship with actresses, particularly those who break conventional norms. Vidya Balan's fearless portrayal of Silk Smitha was widely praised and won her several awards for her performance. Silk, Vidya Balan, a complex character whose journey reflects the harsh realities of fame, the power of sexuality, and the exploitation of women in the entertainment industry. Suryakant Hashmi, a talented but morally conflicted actor who has a complicated relationship with Silk. Mr. Manish, a veteran film director who is both fascinated and frustrated by Silk's persona and plays a pivotal role in her career. Madhavan, Tushar Kapoor, a supporting character who brings a different perspective on Silk's life and career. The Dirty Picture stands out for its bold narrative and candid portrayal of a controversial figure in the film industry. Vidya Balan's performance was a highlight, and the movie was a commercial success, breaking away from conventional Bollywood storytelling by addressing issues of sexuality, female empowerment, and the price of fame. The film opens with a scene in which Silk, Vidya Balan, the famous Southern film star, is shown to be struggling with the declining interest in her sensual roles. The once celebrated actress is now mocked and criticized for her image as a sex symbol. In a moment of introspection, she looks back at the events of her life and career, and the film then shifts into a flashback, taking us through her rise to fame and eventual downfall. The story begins with a young, small-town girl named Reshma, who dreams of becoming a famous film star. She comes from a poor family and has no formal education. Reshma moves to Chennai, the film industry hub in South India, to pursue her dreams, but quickly finds out how difficult it is for women in the film industry. Initially, she is rejected by many filmmakers because of her ordinary looks and lack of glamour. In an industry that is fixated on beauty and star appeal, Reshma feels invisible. One day, she auditions for a small role in a film, but is told that she lacks the right image for the industry. However, the film's director, Mr. Manish Nasiruddin Shah, sees potential in her and gives her a chance, albeit in a minor role. Frustrated but determined to make a name for herself, Reshma reinvents her image by adopting the persona of Silk, a name that is sultry and associated with sensuality, just the kind of image that the audience craves. Silk's sensual and daring performances in adult-themed films soon catch the public's eye. Her provocative style and uninhibited attitude make her a sensation in the film industry. As her fame grows, she becomes the face of the item song genre, and her bold screen presence ensures her a spot in every major film. Silk is no longer just a character on screen, she becomes a cultural icon. However, Silk's success comes at a price. While the public adores her, she is also relentlessly exploited and objectified. Her personal life suffers, and she begins to grapple with loneliness and emotional emptiness. Despite her success and the wealth she accumulates, Silk feels increasingly trapped by her image as a sex symbol. She begins to realize that the more she gives, the more the industry and the public demand from her. Suryakant Emran Hashmi, a young and idealistic actor, is introduced as Silk's romantic interest. Suryakant is initially captivated by her beauty and confidence. However, as their relationship progresses, he finds himself conflicted by her choice of films and the kind of roles she plays. He struggles to reconcile his feelings for Silk with his own aspirations to be taken seriously as an actor. Meanwhile, Mr. Manish, the director who gave Silk her big break, has a complex and almost paternal relationship with her. Despite being an experienced filmmaker, Manish is deeply frustrated by the industry's treatment of Silk. He recognizes that her beauty and sensuality are all that matter to producers and audiences, and he becomes emotionally invested in her career, though not always in a healthy or respectful way. His relationship with Silk is complicated, as he both nurtures her and exploits her for his own professional success. As Silk's career reaches its peak, she becomes more disillusioned with the superficial nature of her success. The industry continues to praise her for her body and sexual appeal, but her inner struggles grow. She feels used by men like Suryakant, who only want her as a means to an end, and by Manish, who sees her as a tool to further his own career. Despite being at the top of her game, Silk's loneliness becomes unbearable. The public adoration turns to mockery as she ages and becomes more associated with her dirty image. Directors begin to view her as old news, and younger, fresher actresses replace her in leading roles. The decline in her career is swift and brutal, and Silk is no longer able to command the same kind of attention and respect that she once did. The reality of her situation starts to hit her hard, and she feels discarded by the very industry that once glorified her. In the latter part of the film, Silk's life begins to spiral out of control. Her career is on the decline, and she becomes depressed. She attempts to reinvent herself, but the audience has already moved on. She faces the harsh realities of aging in a business that only values youth and beauty. The men in her life, including Suryakant and Manish, move on to other women, and Silk finds herself alone. In a poignant and tragic moment, Silk, now in emotional despair, tries to take her own life. The final scenes depict her life as a cautionary tale of the dangers of fame, exploitation, and the brutal realities of being a woman in the entertainment industry. Her journey reflects the price one has to pay for being a sex symbol in an industry that thrives on objectification. The film ends with Silk's tragic death and a reflection on how her legacy is perceived by the industry and the world at large. Though she became a star and achieved immense fame, the reality of her life, her struggles, and the toll it took on her emotional well-being are revealed in a bitter and sad light. The film questions the industry's treatment of women and the way they are commodified for their physical beauty and sensuality. In the final moments, there is an acknowledgement of the fact that while Silk Smitha was loved by millions for her boldness on screen, the price she paid for that fame was far too steep, and she was ultimately forgotten when she no longer fit the idealized image of youth and beauty that the industry demanded. Fame and exploitation. The film highlights how the entertainment industry often uses and discards its stars, especially women, when they no longer fit the desired image. Sexuality and objectification. Silk's rise and fall reflect society's complex relationship with female sexuality, where women are often revered for their physicality but ridiculed or discarded once they age or fail to conform to industry standards. Loneliness and mental health. The story delves into the emotional toll that fame can have on an individual, particularly when they are valued only for their appearance and not their inner qualities. Patriarchy in the film industry. The film critiques the male-dominated film industry that takes advantage of women's vulnerabilities, forcing them into roles that reduce them to mere objects of desire. The Dirty Picture is not just a biographical film about a starlet's rise to fame and fall from grace. It is a bold commentary on the exploitation of women in the film industry, the harsh realities of fame, and the emotional cost of living in the spotlight. Vidya Balan's powerful performance as Silk Smitha made the film a critical and commercial success, earning her widespread praise and several awards for her fearless portrayal of the tragic yet iconic character.